Welcome to the Conquer Public News Network broadcast for Tuesday, July the 7th, 2020, the crazy year of 2020. I would like to welcome my co-host, Big Mick, from Smoked on the Water BBQ here in Key West. Glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Man, what a crazy world we got going on right now, huh?
That's a good word for it.
So a little bit of news going on. We did have a crash today, a big crash up on Highway 1 coming in. It was a pretty severe crash. Had to air flight some people out, messed up traffic pretty bad coming down into Key West. July 4th weekend was fairly eventless. Not much really happened. Everything was closed. There was no fireworks or anything. Nick, what did you do for the 4th?
We actually had a good 4th where we're supported very strongly through the locals. So we ended up having a decent 4th of July. We haven't slowed down since the beginning of this pandemic.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you guys had a good weekend. So for those of you who don't know Mick, you came down originally with the Johnny Rockets franchise, right?
Yeah, it's either 7 or 8 years ago. I've honestly lost track of time.
From where did you come from?
I was in Fort Lauderdale for 2 years before I came down here.
Yeah, so you come down, and that was in the 200 block of Duval Street,
yeah.
Right? So that was Johnny Rockets, which is right next to where Lucy's Retired Surfer Bar was, that just went out of business.
Correct.
And then whenever Johnny Rockets didn't stay there, then you stayed on with Gas Monkey.
I stayed on with Gas Monkey for 2 years there.
Yeah. So then after Gas Monkey folded, that's when you and Dave, your partner, decided to go into business for yourselves and do a barbecue.
Yeah,
on a boat.
We knew after Irma that our chances of survival were coming very slim. So we, out drinking one night, said we better come up with another game plan.
The best laid plans.
And I just happened to find the boat for sale, and I mean, boat, barbecue, it was just, to me, it was a perfect fit to what we did.
And Dave he came down from Dallas, right?
Dave came out of Dallas, originally out of Kansas City, to help with Gas Monkey, and we just hit it off and became good friends, and been doing it ever since.
Yeah, and for those of you who have been down to Key West, I'm sure you've probably been down to Smoked on the Water BBQ. You guys are in the City Marina.
City Marina,
which is in the same kind of little water area as Thai Island. So if you guys are familiar with Thai Island, they're right across on the boulevard side of it, floating right there on the seawall.
Correct.
Or I guess it's actually a pier that comes out here.
Yeah, it's called Wahoo Pier, I believe.
Wahoo Pier. And so if you're parking to go to your place, you would just pull into the City Marina, the dockmaster's office.
Yeah, we have 3 reserved spots, and then anywhere on the inside slots you're able to park.
So, wanted to bring you on the show because you've seen a lot of crazy stuff go on in Key West since you've been. It's almost been trial by fire for you, right? So Johnny Rockets, and then they're not making it, and then Gas Monkey, and the trials and tribulations that Gas Monkey had, and then hurricanes, and then getting into a floating barbecue restaurant, and then a global pandemic. You're probably like, what next, right?
And I say that on a daily basis anymore. What is next? The cool thing about Key West and the people of Key West is they're so resourceful, and we sort of take everything in stride. And I think it's one of the reasons I fell in love with this community is, hurricanes doesn't seem to stop them. And I don't see the pandemic stopping us. So,
no, and that's what I loved about you guys is the fact that a lot of people just shut down and took the time off and kind of sat at home going, "What was me?" These guys went to work, so you guys were there, every day, opening the place, doing the deliveries, doing the carry out. I mean, you guys didn't miss a lick.
Yeah, Dave and I both been putting in somewhere between 80 and 90 hours a week since this thing has started. We've been trying to help and feed whoever we could in the beginning. We decided, look, we don't have a lot of money, but hey, we got food, so let's feed who we can and do what we can, and try to support who we can. We try to make a point to go out 2 or 3 times a week to support other local businesses, to pass it along.
Yeah, so here's a couple of guys struggling to keep their business alive and afloat, and the first thing that they think about is doing a free food deal for the community they live in. So that's that speaks a lot about.
And that was almost a no-brainer. If I had to pull, no matter what, we were going to do it. It just it felt like that's what needed to be done, and there was no question. When Dave and I sat down and talked, it took about 2 seconds to decide that's what we wanted to do, is to do what we can for this community. And, there's so many people out of work right now. When you look at the service industry and the people out of work and have been out of work for over 3 months now, I say it every day. I'm like, my God, how do you do it? I feel for each and every one of them.
For some people, we're going into almost 5 months.
Yeah,
they're for the 5th month. Because the bar people, they were open for 3 weeks and shut back down again.
And now they're shut back down again, and it's just.
And now there's no even thought about when they're going to open back up.
And and where this thing goes this week or next week, no one knows. It's definitely we take it a minute by minute, day by day, and whatever is decided, we'll go with that flow, and we'll continue doing what we do as long as we can.
I've been friends with these guys for a few years now, and I really like these guys and their tenacity and their business ethics and stuff like that. I love driving by Smoked on the Water, especially when the shutdown was going on and you couldn't seat inside, so they kind of turned the inside into an apartment almost or whatever. But I was driving down there one day, and where the tables are at, they had hung 2 hammocks inside the boat from the roof, and they're just chilling up in the hammocks waiting for orders to come in.
We literally did. I mean, we laughed about it in the very beginning, like we should get a couple of hammocks, and when this happened, it was just like, heck, let's do it.
We're on a boat,
and that's what we did. So yeah.
So making the best of the situation, given the bad conditions and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it would have been just as easy to go home and just boo-hoo about it and be like, oh, it's me, what are we going to do next? But no, these guys didn't even think for 2 seconds they were going to do that. And you guys have always put in a ton of hours over there.
And we do, but I mean, it's our business, it's our livelihood, it's what we both enjoy doing. And to make it, that's what you have to do. We know that. I'm known as a workaholic, and I always will be, and I don't ever see myself slowing down.
Now, when you came down with Johnny Rockets, did you come down to set the kitchen up and all that, or what was your role?
I ran Johnny Rockets up in Sawgrass, up in Fort Lauderdale, and I worked on this project coming down here for almost 2 years before we got down here.
That's a lot of planning, huh?
Putting everything together.
And then when you got down here, that's when you're like, "This is my spot. I'm gonna."
Yeah, in the back of my mind, I had always said, and I've always had a thing about Key West, never even being here. And to me, coming to Key West, Johnny Rockets, I knew no matter what, it was going to be a good stepping stone for me, and it would be a great opportunity for me to get down here. And that's exactly what happened. So it worked out really well.
Well, part of what the series of videos that we're doing right now is to give people, a face behind the name, and understand that there's real people running these businesses that have real challenges. And even when things are going good, it's nice to know who's the guys that run the place, who's the guys that own the place, and that's kind of what we're doing. And then also how people have been personally affected, by the shutdown. Of course, everybody in the world has had some sort of an effect, but everybody has their, individual stories. And that being said, the positive spin on it is that you get to do something you love, which is barbecue. So tell me, what made you guys decide to do barbecue when you went into business for yourself? What made you pick that?
I think it was the alcohol.
Dude, we smoke up some ribs, man. It's gonna be awesome.
We tinkered with it at Gas Monkey. I've been doing it all my life. I'm from North Georgia. Dave's from Kansas City, so and I still say this all the time. Between the two of us, someone better know what they're doing. And it's just, it was a click. I thought it was something that Key West was missing. Let's face reality. You can't eat 7 seafood every day of the week. You got to have a variety, and I just thought that was a great niche, is to have some good barbecue.
Now, and you guys were, before Gas Monkey shut down, you guys were going to put barbecue into Gas Monkey, right?
Yeah, and we did. It did have a little barbecue in it, and the last 6 months or so it was there. I kind of used it as a test kitchen, I guess, to get
Tweaking
ready for what we're
recipes and
doing.
all
Yeah.
that, yeah. And now at your restaurant, you make all of your own sauces, right? And you've got a mixture of sauces from different places.
Yeah, we
You've
have
got South Carolina. You've got a Kansas City.
I have a Kansas City. I have a
Texas
Georgia. I have a Smuggler's Bourbon Maple. We have 7 different sauces that we make in house.
So it's kind of but the barbecue style itself. Could you put a style on it?
I say it's my style because it's a mashup of, you're going to see some influence from Texas there. You're going to see a lot of influence from Georgia, and you're definitely going to see a lot of influence from Kansas City. You're going to see some Memphis influence in there. I've had an opportunity over the years to travel throughout most of the country, and one of the things I did in my travels was being able to try different styles of barbecue. And so, I took a lot of that in doing what I do.
And you catered an event down here for B-Man and Michelle, and you brought in ribs that you had basted and marinated with the smuggler's
That was
sauce.
a special Smuggler's ribs, and we still carry them to this day.
Absolutely off the chain. Because everybody has their own particular style of barbecue they like, and I come from the school of, while you're barbecuing, you're constantly basting them, and you build up that layer, and it caramelizes on.
Yeah, I was able to get a great balance of your Smuggler's Bourbon and then our maple, and it just fits so well together.
I was actually, I love your barbecue, but I remember I messaged you and I'm like, dude, you got a winner chicken dinner on your hands with that right there. Because people would, it was like crack. People wouldn't even stop.
I'm quite proud of that one, actually.
That was definitely a good thing. Well, we've got a lot of challenges ahead of us. I know you guys are not going to stop. I'm glad to hear that business is kicking for you guys pretty good over there for sure. What's new coming down the pike? You got something new you're going to throw? You've been doing burn-ins, which is a little difficult to get right now.
Definitely, and unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. I've kind of put everything on hold until we can come back to some sort of normal. And then I'll start getting back in the kitchen and being a little more creative. It's a little hard when you're in a semi-shutdown mode, I guess.
Yeah, to be creative.
And
you're almost in survival mode.
And it really is.
Yeah.
And that's, and for every restaurant and bar here, and that's where they're all at right now, is it's definitely survival mode.
Well, we had touched on our last broadcast, we talked about all the places that were closing and temporarily closing and all the bars that were closed and all those kind of things. Before the shutdown, we had 3 functioning barbecue restaurants in town, which is Charlie Mack's and you guys and the Dirty Pig. The Dirty Pig's good friends of ours, Ben and Dan and all those guys and Kim, awesome people. They are shutting down for the month of July just to let this COVID thing kind of, pass a little bit. And then Charlie Mack's is completely out of business.
We lost Charlie Mack's.
So now you guys are the only game in town in the month of July.
And that's what I've
You
heard.
want barbecue in Key West? This is where
Come by and see us.
Now, all right. You guys have Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. How do we find you guys?
It's smokebbqkw.com is the website. We're also on Facebook, and don't ask me what it is because I have no clue.
How do you place an order? They just call in?
You call in.
What's the number?
And we do takeout, delivery, and catering. And we're in the middle of the process of starting an online order, and we hope to have that up and running within the next few weeks. We're doing the tweaking on it as we speak.
Excellent. So what number would they call?
305-741-7409.
And what are your hours in operation?
Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 9.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming in and taking a few minutes to share with everyone, what you guys are doing over there. We're proud of you guys, and, definitely want to give a shout out and share your story. I'm Smuggler Jim. This is Big Mick for the Conquer Public News Network. We want to thank our troops. God bless our troops. God bless the USA. We want to thank our first responders who are out there putting themselves on the line right now to protect us in this, trying time. And for the Conquer Public News Network, signing off.
Thank you, guys.